We're stuck in Yosemite National Park indefinitely. Boo-hoo!
And as usual, we're busy making mistakes.
Welcome back to the RV Odd Couple. My name is John.
And I'm Mercedes. Long story short, we sold most of our possessions in pursuit of freedom, independence, and adventure.
Because life's too damn short, guys. As most of you know, we're stuck in Yosemite National Park. Great place to be stuck, right? Because of a family of stellar jays has built a nest on the back of our rig, and we cannot leave until they hatch and fly away.
Scientists don't know exactly how long it takes for baby stellar jays to make their first flight, so we're gonna find out. So in this video, we're gonna show you some insane footage of Yosemite. We're gonna show you our reactions to seeing it for the first time.
Unbelievable.
And in good Odd Couple fashion, we're going to share with you some mistakes so that hopefully you don't repeat the same mistakes that we have. As always, we invite you RV vets to share your tips, because remember, a lot of the RV Odd Squad is newbies, and not just ourselves, but all of us collectively. We read your comments and you help a lot of people. But also, there's a group of the Odd Squad that isn't necessarily an RV vet nor an RV newbie. There's actually a group that, for whatever reason, maybe due to personal illness or due to caretaking a sick family member, they can't make these trips right now. As you know, we read all of your comments and we personally respond to them. So when we see you guys sharing those stories with us, we feel an obligation to show you as much as possible.
So almost a responsibility to take you along with us as we drive into the park to share that experience with you.
So this video is really dedicated to those of you that can't do it right now. We want you to know that you guys are in our prayers, and we are wishing that you have a speedy recovery, or your family member that you're caretaking for has a speedy recovery.
And for those of you who have been to Yosemite Park, we're going to be here for a while, so please send us any great places, sneaky places that you know of, things that we may not already have been to. This park is absolutely huge, and from what people tell us, you can spend a lifetime up here and not cover all the trails and the things to do at Yosemite National Park. And later in the video, we want to meet the RV Odd Squad. Well, we've got an announcement to make. We're doing something that we've never tried before, and quite frankly, we don't think anybody in our space, the RV space, is doing this. We're going to give you all the details of letting you on our rig, seeing these birds, probably be babies by the time you get here, and then just getting to know the RV Odd Squad, meeting with you guys, and, you know, sitting around a campfire, cooking marshmallows, and just talking.
So if you didn't already know this, our biggest mistake in Yosemite so far is allowing birds to build a nest when we weren't planning on staying for their whole nesting time frame.
This is a big, big mistake, guys. If you ever have a family of birds, especially in the spring, this is when it happens, right? A family of birds starts building a nest on the back of your RV or the back of your rig. Get rid of them. You know, I thought at first that was kind of mean, but actually it's not mean at all. It's the best thing for them, because it's actually a lot better for the birds to build their nests in more natural places.
And to clarify, when he says get rid of the nest, he's talking about that initial phase when the birds are just starting to build the nest and you see them collecting twigs.
Just keep getting it out of there.
If you
throw
move
the twigs away.
Put them in another spot.
Don't even put them in another spot. Just throw them away. Get them off there, so that they'll take the twigs and they'll go somewhere else eventually. They'll give up.
Yeah, so he's not saying, because once there are eggs, it changes the whole dynamic. There's actually laws, national laws in place to protect birds.
The birds, which is what freaked us out. $15,000 fine, 6 months in jail.
Yes.
1,000 Trails has been awesome to us. We went through a lot of stress to get to the point where we could finally go into the park. Took 10 days, but they've been phenomenal to us ever since, and they're going to allow us to stay and enjoy the entire process of these eggs hatching. But again, don't allow birds to build nests on the back of your rig. Bad idea.
We lost the first 10 days of our stay here worrying about the fate of the nest.
Yes.
But after we got the great news from Thousand Trails that the birds were going to be fine, they wouldn't have to be moved, we headed into Yosemite National Park. And it was insane. When we were going through there, we did not know what to expect. And then all of a sudden, we were floored.
Boom! Oh my God! Holy!
So our next biggest mistake when traveling into Yosemite Park was not doing the adequate research. Because they give you a map, but really you need to study it before you enter because it's so big.
It's huge.
There's so much to it. So we thought that we had actually gone to the valley, and we had not. We actually had kind of almost
got
left.
Right to the bottom of the valley of 120. And we took a right onto 141, and we were actually heading back out of the park.
Towards Fresno.
Now, granted, by the time we got to the bottom of that valley, we were just on the precipice of seeing all the grandeur of Yosemite. We took a right and went down to a waterfall and saw some other amazing things, some rock formations that we're going to share. Actually, a bridge built out of rocks, natural rocks. It was
so cool.
It was just amazing. And we drove back that day thinking that, oh my God, Yosemite is gorgeous, absolutely beautiful, man. I can't wait to go back and look at it again, right? And check out smaller places. Later that day, we get back to our site and we go over to our neighbors, Sue and Barbara, and we're like, Sue, Barbara, man, Mercedes and I just started welling up and crying when we first come around that bend. And we saw all the grandeur of Half Dome, you know. They said, show me a map and show us where you went. So I grabbed my map and I said, we went down here. And then we took a right there. And they said, John, you haven't even begun to see the park yet.
The next mistake that we made, and that is not being adequately prepared. So a couple of things. First off, there's not a lot of food choices, so you do want to make sure that you're stocked on food and water.
Yep.
But the other thing that you really have to be prepared for is the weather. There is a very significant temperature drop when you go down into the valley, and which makes sense when you're getting closer to the waterfalls and the mist.
Yeah.
Is
if
so
you approach
strong.
some of these waterfalls, you're going to get soaking wet. So make sure you have a poncho with you. Also, if you're carrying an expensive camera like I was, make sure you have a bag for it. I didn't have it. Luckily, my camera didn't get damaged. I didn't even try to use it as I got close to the falls. But it gets pretty wet in there.
And don't think that just because it's May, you don't need to have chains for your tires.
Yeah, there's chain rules that go into effect in Yosemite Park as soon as there's any type of snow or even the threat of snow. And the rangers will pull you over as you're entering the park and make you show them your chains to get in. They did us. So make sure you have chains with you if you're going to try to get over the pass down into the valley. It was beautiful, though, because when we're going up over the pass, it was snowing in the morning. We went in, Barbara, Susan, and I went in about 8:30.
It's crazy.
It was snow all up in there, and the roads were slippery. And we got into right when we got into the valley, it was kind of cool because the snow and the rain all night kept everyone else out of the park. So early on, we had the entire park to ourselves. And then the sun broke out, and all these clouds were just kind of sitting around in the valleys, and it was just awe-inspiring.
Yeah, even the mud is beautiful in Yosemite. The next mistake that people make when going to Yosemite is going during peak times.
Yeah.
And this can take on many forms, and we understand that sometimes it can't be avoided. So first thing, for example, weekends are going to be way busier than weekdays.
And they might even block you from going into the park. There's only so many cars and people they can take into the park. It's a huge park, but remember, half of California heads up in the summertime.
So if you can try to go there Tuesday through Thursday instead of Friday through Sunday, you might have better luck.
Right.
The other piece that's really important is the time of day that you go. So arriving there at 10 a.m. is not a really good time. You'll be stuck in a lot of traffic. You might want to try to get there like at 6 or 7.
Yep.
You'll get the prime spots.
Get into the park as early as you possibly can. Park your car and start walking. And then we had somebody else tell us to stay in the park as late as you possibly can before leaving, because not only do you have to show your pass to get into the park, you actually have to show your pass to get out of the park. So you get lines of cars lined up on both sides. Mm-hmm. The other thing that's interesting is we're on 120, and on the weekends, or in the summer, I guess, 120 can start showing signs 20 miles away from the entrance of Yosemite Park that the park is closed, that they're not letting any other people in. Now, you got people that have driven 3-4 hours to get into the park. Well, they're kind of SOL when they get there.
And surprisingly, I thought that June would be the best month to go to Yosemite, but actually May can be a really good time to go to Yosemite because the weather is fresh and you don't have the crowds.
Yeah, we've been here 2 weeks now, and we've gotten to meet people that have been coming in here 20, 30, 40 years into Yosemite Park. These are the people that tell us you can spend a lifetime coming here and never see all of it. those are the same people that have kind of given us the best tips. Most of the people that have experience coming into Yosemite come in the month of May. It's the best month to come. The crowds are low. The scenery is unbelievable. And this year, the park is just flooded with water, which hasn't happened in 10 or 20 years in Yosemite. It's been super, super dry. So there's literally hundreds of waterfalls everywhere you look when you drive in there. The park is just alive. Staying within your limits if you're going to hike within Yosemite National Park. There are different levels of trails for beginners, intermediate, and professionals. You're going to see professional rock climbers.
Insane.
Just insane stuff. Literally setting tents up on the side of some of the cliffs in Yosemite Park. But stay within your limits. Have lots of food. Have lots of water. There's hikes in Yosemite Park that can last 4 days. There's hikes that can last 2 weeks. There's hikes that can literally last months. But do as much research as you possibly can on the trails that you're interested in going down.
And make sure that you bring lots of ibuprofen and Bengay because you are going to be sore. So we're going to try something that other people in the YouTube RV space are not doing.
We've actually been warned against doing this.
But either we like to make mistakes or we just have a lot of faith. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try sharing our location.
This is the first park that we've actually got to. So many people in the RV Odd Squad knew us. They recognized us. And it's been just so much fun.
Yeah, getting to know everyone,
Yeah.
and we want to continue to do that. We realize that we want to do more of that.
Yep, we met Mike and Carol. We met Mike and Sarah.
Lots of mics.
We met Susan and Barbara, right? And so it's just been awesome. And one of the coolest things that we found out is a lot of the RV Odd Squad members are retired law enforcement people.
Yeah.
There was one time when we were here and we had 4 different law enforcement RV Odd Squad members around us. We made great friendships with all of them, but we're going to invite you out to come visit us. We'd love to meet other RV Odd Squad members. We love you all. We'd love to see you. We're staying at Yosemite Lakes 1,000 Trails, which is the closest private campground to the entrance on 120 into Yosemite National Park.
The only thing that we ask is that please don't come up and knock. We pop out a lot and we take walks every day.
Yeah,
so
we're up at the lodge
yourself.
every night, doing internet stuff and working our computers. So we'd love to get to meet you. RV Odd Squad members are going to be welcomed onto our RV. We're going to bring you back to the back of our RV and show you a little spot in the window where you look through right down into these 4 eggs. This mama's sitting there and daddy's coming and feeding her all day long. We want to share that with you. We hope we don't regret this.
Yeah.
But we're willing to take the risk. We trust God that it's going to work out. And maybe nobody comes. Who knows?
And when you get to the park and check in, let them know you're coming to see the RV Odd Couple because we want them to know. We want them to know that they made the right decision and are extending our stay for those
and supporting us because they've been great to us ever since. We love 1,000 Trails. We loved them before. Please just know that this is our private residence and we have had a couple of people bang on the door early in the morning. Our dog goes crazy when anybody touches that door. Sage wakes up. We'll meet you. We'll invite you over later for a campfire or to come over and take a look at the birds. So just let us know. Send us an email if you want to stop by and see us.
If you're not aware of the situation with the birds, our next video shares all about it.